We're here talking with our friends at S&S. I'm Tim Baldwin, and with me today we've got Pete Barto, Jason Mons, Preston Perkes. These are the guys from S&S that are going to tell us about 25 years of history with the company. And thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you.
When you started, it was all about the air launch technology. Now after 25 years, how has that technology advanced and you've used it in so many different ways?
Yeah, I mean, the tower rides were really the first success for S&S. It's what put us on the map. Stan had the idea of, what if I could throw someone up in the air and they enjoy it, looking at a child, why can't we do that with adults? So worked with a team, came up with the idea, started launching people, and that really put us on the map. To now, we continue to build those towers, but we've been able to add that technology to swings, to our launch coasters, and it really is a unique thing for S&S. It gives us the power to launch people, to throw them. It's something you can't do with other things.
Yeah, it's great fun, and I mean, it's instant exhilaration. And I know we'll be talking about coasters in a little bit. You definitely have instant exhilaration coming up with instant acceleration for 2019. We talk about S&S, and you've been S&S Power, you've been S&S Worldwide, S&S Onsite. Talk about how the name has kind of morphed over these last few years.
Well, S&S, if people don't know already, it stands for Stan and Sandy, the founders of the company. Stan started the company as S&S Power, and during that time we had our towers. We had a number of small products that are still in the market today.
Like the Frog Hopper?
Like the Frog Hopper, that are around the world. People may be used to them, they may have tried one out. But after a while, we needed to really identify who we were as a company and what we were becoming. And we went to S&S Worldwide as we became more and more a part of the worldwide stage of amusement rides. At that time, we also introduced some of our first coasters. As Preston mentioned, Stan took that air power from the tower system, turned it on its side, and started pushing people out through a very exhilarating and fun ride system. After a little while, we had the opportunity to team up with Sensei Technologies as they bought the company. Sensei is a global company with a fantastic heritage. Many people don't realize just how involved they've been in the amusement industry, from Tokyo Disneyland all the way through a number of products that they continue to supply to the Walt Disney Company. So that's been a fantastic opportunity for us, and it just continues that heritage that we established through the S&S Power, that we established through our connection and acquisition of Aero, with another great heritage in the industry.
And enthusiasts love Aero. I mean,
and they should.
There's still that nostalgia for Aero rides. So thank you for keeping those parts and things coming to those rides that everyone loves. I mean, really do. Pete, let's talk about the product line of S&S. I mean, you guys got started with towers. Is that your biggest seller to date?
We still do about 8 to 10 towers a year all around the world. I mean, it's a constant. They're constantly in demand.
And you're getting close to hitting the 200 mark on that product,
right? We are closing in on it very, very soon. Very, very soon. So it's an exciting time. There's just a lot going on with S&S right now. I mean, Preston mentioned, that we're that idea of throwing the baby up and down. Now we're throwing the babies out. I mean, that's essentially what we're doing. And throwing them really fast with some of the evolution. So I mean, in terms of the the products that are really catching people's attention. Like I said, the air launches, this steel curtain coaster, which I'm sure we'll talk about, is really catching a lot of attention. And then beyond that, the 40 free spins. I mean, it's now basically surpassed has become the most popular coaster in our entire portfolio. So, it's
just a few years.
Since 2015, we already have 13 on the books now.
And heaven knows I've done a few media days with those, and I remember when you guys introduced that on the floor just 5 years ago, and it was all but a poster, and that's what it was. And now I've been on several around the world, so that really took off for you guys.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story about that, actually. So I had a part come in from Europe because I just joined S&S, and I'd never ridden the R40 free spins, and I'm not a big fan of spinny rides. And I went, well, I need to go and ride this thing, because if I go down there and throw up on my customer. That wouldn't really provide a good message. I went down, rode the ride, understood the different design of that ride, where that hard line is down here.
Yes.
And you don't get that nausea, you don't get that dizzy feeling. It's just fun. It's just fun. And now I think that it's funny. I think that story resonates with a lot of people, because they look and go, oh my God, look at this ride. But then when you ride it, it's an incredible, fun, entertaining experience for everyone.
And
I seen Tim on the media days cycle through. The guy next to him that was screaming, that can't take any more, gets off. The next person gets on next to him, cycles through, they get off, sits down next to him. We just sat on that ride like all day.
I did, and I was really worried about the first media day in 2015, Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Good friend Jeffrey Seabird.
It was pouring rain that day.
But it was funny, because I was thinking, can I flip all day long and ride this? And it was not challenging at all. I kept coming back to the station every time I was riding with a news reporter. I'd say, it's not demanding on your body. It's crazy. I mean, you're just somersaulting through the air, but you're really not finding
You're not
any
getting
demand.
thrown. That's
yes,
the difference.
exactly.
You're actually pressed back with positive G-force.
So I thought the engineering on that worked out really well. With 25 years of product history, obviously you're going to have really hits. Have there ever been ones that's like, man, we expected that to take off and it didn't?
Yes.
Definitely.
Do you want me to give me the list or not?
My personal favorite, as far as an exhilarating, underappreciated ride, is got to be our swings. What an exciting ride, what an intense ride, but when you look at it from the queue line, oh, I had one of these in my backyard growing up, why do I want to ride it? But the minute you get on that thing and you're hung in your seat and you're accelerating, through 70 miles per hour from the apex of the swing down through the bottom. It is a fun and exciting ride that offers a lot of those fun elements of a roller coaster. But for whatever reason, it just never quite took off the way we thought it would.
Wow. Well, we have seen several around the world, but they're great fun. And what's fun is on those swings, the action takes place instantly.
Yes.
I mean, from the first, everyone's like, whoa, and then before you know it, and as a coaster junkie, I don't get nervous on coasters at all, but when you go past that 90-degree mark, you're looking down, and particularly some of them are placed in really interesting positions, that's like, they're very thrilling rides.
It's a good thing they don't have microphones or cameras on those rides, because sometimes some words come out at that top part.
If you want to have a fun ride, try to get Pete on one.
Wait. There's more to this story, I can tell already.
Sometimes right at that apex, right at that point you're talking about, I start to speak in tongues almost. Usually they start with F and other things.
Okay, next topic here.
This
Let's
is a
talk
family show, Pete.
Oh, sorry.
Let's talk coasters. Our viewers are going to be totally into coasters. You've got kind of a diverse mix here. Let's talk about the ones from the past, and then we'll get into the 2019 ones I know you're very excited about.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about, we knew air, we knew how to launch people, so immediately we went into a couple of concepts of launching people, right? That was during a time when Stan was running the company. Stan was an entrepreneur. He was the one that started that tower rides, but we went through a period where we needed to start diversifying our product. We couldn't just sell towers forever. We could, we still do, but if we wanted to grow the company, we needed to do something else. So Stan ended up handing the reins over to Rich Allen, our next leader. And we went through a time of diversification, a time where we had acquisitions, a time of trying to figure out how are we going to do these things. We're relatively new in the coaster industry, right? I mean, if you look at some of our competitors out there, but we went through a time where we started putting El Locos out there. We did
things that weren't air involved.
Yeah, it's traditional lift hills. We did the soaring, the Eagle, the Scara Summerland. We do the free fly.
Trannon, I'm dying to get on that.
Well,
It's
it won
outstanding. And it won an award.
It won a huge award.
2009,
right?
best ride at IAAPA.
We need one of those in the U.S. for sure.
We would love to sell that.
That was my disappointing ride from the question before. That's the one that I it blows my mind. 'Cause I've ridden it.
Exactly. Every time I see the footage, it's like, man, I want to get on that because I love the old aero suspended rides. If anyone came back to you and said, we want an aero style mine train, would you guys be into that?
We've heard it.
Okay.
And we are.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Okay. Heard it there. Okay, that's good because
Shh, don't tell anyone.
we love the aero mine trains. They're great, and you guys are involved with the steeplechase too.
Yeah, I mean the steeplechase is something we introduced last year. Back, Pete reintroduced. That's
At the
right.
show, yeah.
So Pete had talked to different people, asked, what aero ride should we bring back? Feedback was, you got to bring back that steeplechase.
Which I don't think is at all what we were expecting.
As an answer.
As an
from
answer.
As an
people?
answer, I was shocked
yeah.
when I heard it from.
We suspended coasters, mine train. Nope, steeplechase.
Yeah, so we went through and redesigned it. We definitely had to do some updates.
Sure.
To the safety of the ride.
Right.
The
and
restraint
the
system.
restraint, and
And
you lowered the
outlook,
height
yeah.
requirement too, right?
Yeah. Took it down quite a bit. It's definitely been a work in the making for us throughout the
Well,
year.
having ridden the prototype back in the spring, I'm excited that you guys continue to refine that and make that available to the market because there are a lot of coaster fans that are going to think it's the living end when you bring that back.
Yeah, but even going back to what you said about coasters, where we are today, when Sansei acquired us, it gave us the opportunity to do these big rides. Financially, we had our own backing, right? When Sansei acquired us, they brought a stability that wouldn't allow us to do the size of the ride that we're doing today. The Kennywood coaster,
The steel curtain.
the Steel Curtain, the Max Force here in the United States. Without their backing, without putting us in a situation to do such a large ride, we wouldn't be able to do that. So it's put us in a situation where we can do those large rides, and we're so excited to do a ride where we're going to have 9 inversions. We're going to break the North American record. It's got 4,000 feet of track. This is really an opportunity for us to show people what we can do domestically. We've got big air launch coasters in China, but hardly ever has anyone gone and ridden them. So
Right.
this really is giving us opportunity to show everyone this is what we can do. We've got the best team we've ever had at S&S now. We've grown as a company. We've figured out how to do things. We've learned from our mistakes. We've had them. I think everyone has them. But
Sure.
I can say
you can't be in a business for 25 years and not.
and some of them have hurt, sure, but we have learned from them, and we're excited to show what we can do with these rides.
Steel Curtain has 9 inversions, 4,000 feet of track, you just said. But I'm really excited about how kind of keeps diving and ducking through the structure. I just think it has a lot of neat maneuvers. Coaster fans are going to love it. Enthusiasts, they're going to embrace
You
it.
did it all just for Derek Shaw, though.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, Max Force, give me the launch 0 to 60?
0 to 60 in under 1.6 seconds.
1.6 seconds.
Under
so-
1.6.
Under 1.6. So that's going to be really a blast, literally.
Sure.
And then you have the inversion statistics, throw those out,
Yeah, it has the fastest inversion in the world. It's 60 miles an hour.
which is a barrel roll type thing.
Yep.
Like, okay.
Tallest double inversion.
Tallest double inversion.
About
and
175 feet, I believe it's.
wow, that's really tall. So,
Yeah.
Don't look
if,
down.
if the first one didn't catch you, the second one will.
so is this going to be kind of the situation of a parent not having a favorite child in 2019? It's like, no, we love you both equally the same.
Yes.
But they are very different. So,
Very much.
extremely. I mean, they're two different experiences.
Yeah.
You can't compare them.
cool stuff. Well, enthusiasts are going to be there. Hasters are going to love it. And it's,
We're concerned we might be splitting the vote though with the golden tickets. That's what we're
So
worried
get out
about.
and vote.
So get out and vote.
you were just talking about growth. You guys built a brand new headquarters, opened it this year, and having had the opportunity to tour it, it's brilliantly laid out. And you said during the tour of that something to the effect that with the old facility, it grew up around the business instead of the way it needed to be.
Right.
Talk to that.
Well, we started with a small building when Stan started the company years ago. Very small building. I think it had 4 offices in the whole thing. And then as we would grow, we'd build a new building on the same site, but those buildings were disconnected. They were far apart. being that we are located in northern Utah, 5 months out of the year we had to fight with snow, with rain, with all those other elements. And each one of those buildings had its own department that it was doing, so we were constantly moving parts back and forth from one building to the next, and sometimes back and forth between the same different buildings, if that makes sense. It made it difficult for paint because we had to take parts outside before they were painted. Just everything you can imagine being wrong with it was wrong with it. We made it work for 24 years, but in the end, we needed something different. Again, with the Sansei acquisition, with our recent successes that we've had, we were finally able to build a building that was designed around the way we do our business. So as you mentioned, for instance, an example, our new building, the entire product line is meant to flow in a clockwise direction around the entire building. The same door that the parts come in through raw is the same door that the finished rides leave out of. That completes that nice loop. But in addition to just the production, we've got a lot of room for our engineering. As Preston said, greatest team we've ever had. We've got a lot of people, they're all contributing wonderfully to the success of the company. We've got room now for our engineers, for our project managers. We're not sitting on top of each other. Also, as a recognition of the global aspect of our company, we've got teleconferencing rooms now that Preston has set up.
Those were great. When I saw those,
they're wonderful.
And I like how you folks stressed during that tour the collaboration, that you just built areas where people can come in and share ideas, and dedicated space to that. And I think that's very cool in a company.
We went from one collaborative room to 7. That just shows the type of work that we're doing as a company, how often we're getting together to discuss a ride, to understand what our customers need from us, and figure out solutions to provide to our customers.
And that collaboration isn't just limited to our staff either. I mean, we always welcome in the parks to discuss and work through problems. And it's funny. I was talking to someone yesterday about queue lines and about how oh my gosh, the queue lines on this ride or that ride will be long or short. And those are kind of discussions that we have. It's not just a matter of saying we're going to add an extra vehicle to make a queue line. I mean, if you look at our 4D free spins, a simple adjustment that was made was facing those vehicles inward, so that the restraint check can be done quicker, because you can go 1, 2, 3, 4 in a circle and you're done. All those kind of things, those factors, the design of the rides, the design of the restraints, making sure they're comfortable, obviously making sure they're safe, but all that comes into that whole collaboration. That's where we've really become a truly collaborative company across the board.
And in the manufacturing end of it, it was laid out sequentially, like clockwise, to where after this step, this is the next logical step. Just the efficiency of how you guys designed that was great.
Yes.
So you did a really excellent job with that. I enjoyed
thank you. It's wonderful.
On behalf of the ACE members, you invited us to your previous facility on a couple occasions. So everyone always enjoyed that and appreciated that. So we congratulate you on the next leap you've made with the new facility, but thanks for including us in seeing from where you were, and maybe one day we'll get to see where
next time the group's out, give us a call and we'll do that again with the new building.
We would absolutely enjoy that. Okay, to wrap this up, 25 years reflections. Pete, reflections on 25 years?
Well, I'm only 23, so I'm not sure. You know what? I've seen the evolution of this company even before I came to work for it. When I worked for IAAPA, I've been in the industry about 17 years now, so I know I've seen S&S from afar, and now I've seen it internally, and it's impressive to see the steps and the work and how this whole thing has really evolved, and it's great to be part of.
You're gonna ask me next, aren't you?
Yeah, reflection. I mean, just,
Do you need a mirror?
your time with the company, or how you feel about it.
I've been with the company for 14 years, but all in all, I'd have to say the excitement that I experienced isn't just with the 25 years of S&S, it's the entire 70 years of heritage that we have through the Sansei and Aero lines. To look back and to go through our drawers and see drawings from Aero from the 1960s that are drawn by hand, to look and see what those guys accomplished, and those shoulders that we stand on is an exciting part. It's wonderful to be part of such a company with such a great heritage, and to look and do my part to take it forward into the future.
All right. Preston?
Round it up, I think we're at the top of our game. We've, like I mentioned, we've gone through different leaderships. You know, Tim Timko's currently our president CEO. He's got a vision of growth, of customer satisfaction. Never had a better team. I mean, we talk about these 25 years in the past, and what we're trying to instill in our company is, you know, what has happened those 25 years. But if you remember during the tour, we're saying, what are you going to be part of after this? You know, I'm so excited for where we're at and where we are going to go. With Kennywood, with Max Force, and that other stuff we've got in our back pocket that we're working on.
There we go. We always want new stuff in the back pockets.
Yeah. So I like Jason said, it's been great to be part of the company, to experience everything that's been going on. But we've got a long ways to go still. We're not at our limit.
Well, that's a good philosophy to have. Well, guys, congratulations on 25 years. Good luck with these 2019 projects. I know we're going to be riding, and thanks for taking time to talking with us today.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim. Always a pleasure.